Okay, let's dive in. There's this really interesting and kind of quiet shift happening in men's health, you know?
Definitely seeing that.
It's moved way beyond just like the annual physical or worrying about cholesterol.
Right.
Now there's this new performance lens. Men are really looking at their health in terms of energy, focus, physique, and yeah, sex drive too. It's really changing the game.
Absolutely. And, if you look at the landscape, clinics offering TRT, that's testosterone replacement therapy, and ED, erectile dysfunction treatment, they're right at the heart of this.
They're leading the charge almost.
They really are. They're kind of pioneering this new approach men are taking to their well-being.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're digging into an article from Roxford Digital. It's called Marketing Men's Performance Health. TRT and ED are the MVPs.
Good source for this topic.
Yeah. And our goal today is to really unpack how men's health marketing has fundamentally changed. It's gone from that, traditional see your doctor model to actually competing with like performance brands. Think supplements, fitness gear, that kind of thing.
This huge shift.
So we're going to explore what that means for clinics trying to connect with guys today and really how they can stand out and build trust in this pretty different landscape.
Well, it's fascinating when you think about how men's health used to be seen. Historically, it was, routine stuff, checkups, managing conditions, very reactive.
Yeah, wait till something's broken.
Pretty much. But today, guys are looking at their health through this performance lens you mentioned. It's all about optimizing.
Optimizing for what specifically?
For sustained energy, getting through the day strong, for sharper focus mentally, for actual visible physique improvements. And yeah, for a healthy sex drive.
So TRT and ED treatments, they're not just medical fixes in this view.
Not entirely. They've really become central to this whole transformation in how men are approaching their well-being. They see them as tools for optimization.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Does that mean there's a new kind of expectation from patients? Like, are traditional doctors struggling to meet this, or is it more about how they talk about what they do?
I think it's both, really. It's definitely a new set of expectations.
Right.
And it absolutely impacts the messaging. The key thing, the real insight here, is that men aren't just searching for medical care in the old sense.
So what are they searching for, if it's not just fixing an illness?
They're searching for results, specific, tangible results. They want solutions that directly change how they feel and perform every single day. They're looking for an upgrade, basically.
An upgrade. I like that. That makes the positioning really crucial for clinics, doesn't it?
Absolutely critical.
Because most guys probably aren't typing testosterone therapy into Google, are they?
No, not usually. Not the first time, anyway. They're much more likely to be searching for things like how to fix low energy.
Right.
Or maybe boost gym performance, improve sex drive, lose the stubborn weight, or even something like how to regain confidence.
Those are problem-focused searches, results-oriented.
Exactly. They're describing the problem they want solved, not necessarily the medical solution yet.
That's such a key difference.
Yeah.
So how does a clinic actually, tune in to that language? Because if your website, your ads, if they aren't speaking that language,
You lose visibility instantly.
yeah, and authority too, right? Because you sound like you don't get it, like you're selling the procedure when they just want the outcome.
Precisely. And this isn't just anecdotal. There's broader research backing this up. McKinsey, for instance, found that today's health consumers are way more proactive.
Okay.
They're very brand aware and super digitally driven. And this is especially true for men who often want fast, discrete solutions.
Discreet is a big one, I bet.
Huge, especially for problems they don't typically talk about openly. They want to find answers and solutions on their own terms, privately, online.
So this proactive digital approach, it leads us right into this massive shift in the market, the competitive landscape.
It really does.
It's not just your local GP anymore. We've got these big national telehealth platforms like Hims, like Roman.
They've changed everything.
Totally. They've normalized getting things like ED treatment online. They've reshaped what consumers expect. And for them, branding seems just as important as the actual medicine.
Oh, absolutely. Their ad campaigns are slick, high budget. They dominate the ad space online.
So what does that mean for the local clinic, the one down the street?
Well, it's a real challenge. If a local clinic is still just relying on, say, doctor referrals or maybe some generic local ads, They're basically invisible to these guys who are actively searching online, wanting more control. They just won't find them. They need a completely different playbook now.
But wait, don't those big national brands sometimes feel a bit impersonal, like you're just a number?
That can definitely be a perception, yeah. Transactional?
Because that's where the local clinic has this potentially huge advantage, right? Something the big guys can't easily replicate. Genuine human connection.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just dealing with a chatbot or a random person on email.
Right. Local clinics can offer things like same-day appointments sometimes, actual in-person consultation.
And follow-ups with someone you know, someone you've met. There's accountability there, a relationship.
That's incredibly powerful, but, and it's a big but.
Only if they market it right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That potential advantage is useless if nobody knows about it or if the clinic doesn't present itself correctly.
Okay, so that leads into how guys actually choose a provider. Because it sounds like the old assumption, they'll just go to the closest one is kind of out the window.
Oh, completely. It's not just about proximity anymore. Research and what clinics are seeing shows men will drive. They'll go 30 minutes, maybe more, for a clinic that just feels right.
Feels right. That's interesting. It's so subjective. We think of healthcare as logical, but feel seems huge here. Maybe more than in other medical areas.
I think so, because it's tied into identity, confidence, performance. It's personal.
So what does feels right actually translate to? What are they looking for?
Well, feels right often starts with the brand presentation. Is it clean, confident, professional, but approachable?
Okay.
Then it's about the practicalities. Discrete booking options, easy communication. Can I text them, or is it only phone calls during work hours?
Makes sense. What else?
Proof. Social proof. They want to see that other men, guys like them, trust this clinic. So genuine reviews, video testimonials are huge.
Seeing is believing.
Definitely. And honestly, the website needs to look like it understands them. Not like it was built in, 2009 and never updated.
Yeah, the dreaded outdated website.
It sends the wrong message.
Yeah.
The core thing is men don't want to feel like they're going to a doctor just because something's wrong. They want to feel like they're taking a step to upgrade their life, taking control. It's a totally different frame of mind.
Okay, so given this whole new landscape, this new mindset, local clinics clearly need a plan, a strategic blueprint to actually compete and, win. Where does they start?
Step 1, non-negotiable. Invest heavily in SEO and content marketing.
Search engine optimization. Being found online.
Exactly. Guys are searching online, period. If your clinic doesn't show up when someone searches for, low T treatment near me, or best ED clinic for men, or maybe TRT for energy and focus,
You're not even in the game.
you don't exist to them. Showing up in those search results is how you start building trust before they even think about booking. It's foundational.
Absolutely. Got to be where they're looking. Okay, so you're visible. What's next? Strategy number 2.
Speak their language. Speak to performance, not just symptoms.
Okay, explain that.
Your website homepage, your headlines, your ads, ditch the complex medical jargon. Use the words men actually care about.
Love it.
Confidence, strength, control, vitality, energy, focus. Talk about the benefits, the outcomes they're searching for. Use real words that connect with their goals.
Got it. Less clinical, more aspirational. What's third?
Use visuals that represent the ideal patient accurately.
So, ditch the generic stock photos.
Please. No more doctors in lab coats staring thoughtfully at a clipboard. Think about showing men in their 30s, 40s, 50s guys who look like they care about their appearance, their careers, their relationships. Lifestyle shots.
Show them thriving.
Exactly. Show the after, the possibility, not just the before or the sterile process. It paints a picture of what they can achieve.
That makes a lot of sense. It connects emotionally.
Yeah.
Which probably leads right into the 4th point.
It does. Create video testimonials and educational content.
Why is video so important here?
Video is just incredibly powerful for this. It lets real patients share their stories, their before and after, in their own words. Authentically.
Builds connection.
Huge connection. It drives emotional engagement and builds trust like almost nothing else. Seeing someone relatable who faced the same stuff and got real results, that's incredibly persuasive. It validates their own feelings and hopes.
Okay, video testimonials. Crucial. What's the final piece of the puzzle? Strategy 5.
Retarget like a performance brand.
Retargeting. Explain that quickly.
It means showing ads specifically to people who've already visited your website but didn't book an appointment yet. Because men rarely book on the first visit.
Right, it's a bigger decision, not an impulse buy.
Exactly. So getting them to your site once is not enough. You need retargeting ads to bring them back. gently remind them.
And what should those ads show? Just book now.
No, definitely not just that. Those ads should highlight the powerful testimonials you collected. Maybe answer common questions, address their doubts, reiterate the benefits, the outcomes, not just the list of services.
Keep the conversation going.
Precisely. It's about nurturing that interest, building confidence over time, and guiding them towards making that decision when they're ready.
Okay, so putting it all together, what's the big takeaway for local clinics trying to navigate this?
The overarching message, I think, is pretty clear.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to outspend the big national guys. You need to outposition them by being clearer in your message, more confident in your brand presentation, and absolutely visible where your ideal patients are actually looking. Clarity, confidence, visibility, that's the starting point.
So we've really seen today how the whole game has changed for men's health marketing. It's shifted dramatically from just basic care to this real emphasis on performance, control, optimization. Local clinics have that human connection edge, but they absolutely need these modern strategies, SEO, performance language, visuals, video, retargeting, to actually get seen, get understood, and ultimately get trusted.
It's a fascinating evolution, isn't it? How we perceive and market health and wellness.
It really is.
And, it does raise a kind of provocative question for you, the listener, to think about.
Yeah.
If men's health is increasingly being framed through this performance lens, what wider implications might that have? How might it change how we view other areas of health and wellness?
Interesting.
And what does this growing emphasis on individual agency, on taking control, really mean for the future of patient choice and achieving, optimal well-being? How much control will people expect to have over their own health journeys down the line? Something to chew on.